for today I have a makeup tutorial on the look that I'm wearing, obviously. It's just this really fun, different, really cool spring makeup look. I wanted to do a periwinkle eye with a really nice kind of mauve purpley lip. This lip is kind of a crossover between a nude and a purple. I feel like it's very, has a very strong purple undertones. I did do like a really pretty periwinkle using the new Anastasia waterproof cream color in the shade Ocean, which is just this beautiful like blurple shade, so like that crossover between blue and purple. I kind of expected the periwinkle to turn out a little bit more periwinkle-ish. I don't know. Then again, when I do like Google periwinkle, let me show you guys. When I Google periwinkle, this is what I see. So it kind of looks like what is on my eyes. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like I kind of expected it to turn out a little bit more purple, but nonetheless, I think that this look turned out really nice. I also did put some color in the waterline just to kind of make this look a little different. I didn't want to do it on the lower lash line. I figured why not do it in the waterline and keep the lower lash line neutral, just to kind of throw it off a little bit. And for the lip, I did use a drugstore product. It's the e.l.f. matte lip color in the shade Tea Rose, and this actually was super, like it pulled out a lot more purple, so I just put a tiny bit of Pure Hollywood by Anastasia and mix it in. But I feel like this lip color looks a lot like, I believe, the shade Dominique by NARS. It's a very strong like mauve purple, but slightly neutral, if that makes sense. So I feel like this lip color is a gem. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I got this makeup look, then just make sure to keep on watching. So we're starting off with primer. Of course, I'm using my Maybelline Baby Skin, and I'm also using my Makeup Forever mattifying primer. First, I applied the Maybelline one all over my face, and then the mattifying one just on my T-zone area and the nose mainly. And then for foundation, of course, I'm using my Holy Grail Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation in the shade Tawny, and I'm blending it out with my Holy Grail Sigma Flat Top Kabuki F80 brush. Then I'm taking my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in the shade Light Neutral, and I'm just putting that underneath the eye and down the center of my face. I've been on the hunt for the light warm shade so that I can exchange it, but it's sold out everywhere. No matter what Sephora I go to, light warm is sold out, so I can't exchange it as of yet, but I really want that shade. But for now, the light neutral will have to do, and I'm blending it out with this new Morphe Elite brush. It's a dual-ended brush, but I really like that pointy, kind of firm, tapered end just to blend out the concealer. It's really nice. And then I am setting my entire face with the MAC Studio Fix Powder Foundation in the shade NC42. I'm using my Sigma F30 Large Fluffy Powder Brush for this step. I wanted to ask you guys if you would be interested in me listing the brushes that I'm using in the tutorial. So I would leave a little like text annotation on the left-hand bottom corner, and I would put the name of every single brush I'm using as I'm using them. So if that makes sense, let me know down below if that's necessary, if you guys feel like you would like that. I'm just setting the under eye area, and then I'm using bronzer by Smashbox in the shade Warm Matte, and I absolutely love it. It was my first time using it, and I really liked it a lot. I'm just putting that along the cheeks and jawline and temples. And then I'm taking my Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Palette, and I'm just brightening the under eye with that yellow shade underneath the eye. And then I'm moving on to contouring with the NARS Ita brush, and I'm just using the Cool Tone first shade in the Kat Von D palette. And then for blush, I'm using the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush in the shade Mood Exposure with my Duo Fiber brush. This one is just a really pretty mauve neutral perfect blush. And then I'm taking the Makeup Forever Pro Sculpting Duo and highlighting my face like crazy. There's just something about summertime that makes me want to bring that glow all the way down my cheekbones and make it super intense. Moving on to the eyes, I am priming the eyelids with the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot, and then I am setting them with the Kat Von D Under Eye Brightening Powder that I used. And moving on to shadows, I'm taking the Makeup Geek Creme Brûlée shadow, and I'm just putting that into the crease. You'll notice you don't see too much pigmentation. That's because I like to work slowly with my shadows, so I only pick up a little bit of pigment and then I kind of build it up and work it up, because that's what I find just helps it blend easier, and it just makes it so much easier to work with the shadows when you use little pigmentation. And then I'm using the dark brown shadow from the Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette, and I'm just kind of defining the crease a little bit. You can pretty much just use any shade just to define that crease a little bit more. This look is pretty much focused on the color that we're using, so when it comes to neutrals and building up the crease, you can pretty much just use whatever you feel like using. I just used a basic warm brown and a cool neutral dark brown. And then I'm taking the NYX Milk Jumbo Eye Pencil, and I'm putting that on the lid just to give the cream color we're going to use by Anastasia a nice base to sit on. It's also going to brighten the Periwinkle bluish purplish shade that we're going to use. So we're taking the Anastasia waterproof cream color in the shade Ocean Blue, and it's this beautiful slightly periwinkle. I feel like this shade, in some lighting it looks periwinkle, in some lighting it doesn't. So what I tried to do today is really pull out the periwinkle in it by mimicking it with other shadows on top, which we'll do later on. But I'm basically just packing this on with a flat shader brush, and I'm just putting that all over the lid on top of the white base. So next, to set that cream color, I'm taking Makeup Geek's Duchess eyeshadow. I forgot to take a clip of it, so I'm sorry about that, but it's basically just a matte, kind of darker periwinkle. It's a purple, but it has a slight bit of blue in it. So I wanted to use that to kind of set the cream color, but also to mimic the ocean blue shade and pull out a little bit more of its periwinkle-ness. And I'm just setting that and kind of fluffing it on the lid and making it super smoky. I'm also taking this really small E36 tapered blending brush by Sigma and blending out that crease and just really making this look super smoky and blended. Next, I'm taking the Sigma Fall Softly eyeshadow palette, and I'm just taking that really pretty icy, bluish purple, icy type of shade, and I'm just putting that on top just to lighten up the shadow, but it's also going to, again, help kind of make it more periwinkle. So I used a bunch of different shades together in this tutorial to really make the best out of the shades and make it as periwinkle as possible, because I didn't have that perfect periwinkle shade. If you guys know like that perfect periwinkle eyeshadow, let me know down below. So I just took out the fallout earlier, and now I'm taking Frappe by Makeup Geek, and I'm just putting that on the lower lash line. Next, I'm taking the Milani eyeshadow in Bella White, and I'm just putting that in the inner corner just to really make this look pop in the inner corner. And then onto the waterline, I'm taking the Ocean Blue cream color again by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm just putting that in the waterline. I'm using a small tight line brush by Sigma, and I'm just packing that on the waterline. Because this product is waterproof, it works amazing on the waterline, and it lasted so long, and I really loved it. I'm thinking of actually using their waterproof cream color in black as my new tight lining shade, because honestly this lasted all day. I also went ahead and set that with the Duchess eyeshadow by Makeup Geek. And then I'm moving on to wing liner and mascara, and I also did put on falsies off camera. I will leave the ones that I use down below. Moving on to the lips, I use the e.l.f. matte lip color in the shade Tea Rose. It's this beautiful, beautiful, strong purple mauve shade. It has a very strong purple undertone, as you guys will notice in a couple of seconds. So I did mix in a little bit of Anastasia as per Hollywood, just a tiny bit, and mixed it in together just to kind of tone it down a little bit. But if you want, you could totally rock that light kind of purpley lip. But that's pretty much it for this look. If you guys enjoyed it, please give me a like, thumbs up, and I'll of course see you guys in my next video. Picked up two things. I'll show you guys. The first thing that I picked up was the MAC Studio Fix Fluid. I love this foundation. You guys know that. Like, it's tried and true. I've been using it since I was 14.